stunning victory in Siena not so long ago. If he does a good time trial here, we'll really know that Wout van Aert is back. In the meantime, though, it's the end of the road for Ethan Hayter's brief race lead here in the individual time trial in Pisa, because Dan Houle is going to take the hot seat by 10 seconds from Ethan Hayter. 32.30 is the new time to beat.
Very good performance.
Stage 11 and a trip to the seaside. 186 kilometres, getting harder and harder. Departing from Viareggio, but up and over a massive Category 1 climb and another couple of difficulties before a finish in Castelnuovo nei Monti. Could be a day for a breakaway, could be a day for the Maglia Rosa to extend his lead, could be a GC battle. Everything right in the balance as Isaac Del Toro rolled off the start line in the sun in Viareggio, and the flag dropped immediately. And no sooner had that flag dropped than Wout van Aert went on the offensive, joined eventually and almost inevitably with the Maglia Ciclamino Mads Pedersen. Those two riders made it extremely hard at the beginning as the expected battle to get in the breakaway of the day went on with a tailwind for a long time. Matteo Cattaneo and Yanis Voisard were one of a number of duos of riders who got off the front and eventually were reeled in. The first appearance on this year's Giro of the pink train carrying the Trofeo Senza Fine, and the next pair to go were Steven Kruijswijk and Javier Azperan. They went through the first sprint of the day together, and then there was even an appearance of Isaac Del Toro in the Maglia Rosa in the company of Antonio Tiberi before he sat up and went back. The attacks came thick and fast, and everybody was waiting until the foot of the massive Cat 1 climb to go. Wout Poels then and Wilco Kelderman were the next duo to hold a slender advantage, but Mads Pedersen brought them back, and a huge group of some 35-40 riders broke free just before the big Cat 1 climb of the day, Lorenzo Fortunato being one of them, and he attacked with over 10 kilometres and went off in pursuit of 40 King of the Mountains points. Behind him, the big breakaway shredded, and the strongest riders started to emerge from the pack, including Luke Plapp once again seeking out the opportunity. Egan Bernal from the GC group attacked, but was marked by Juan Ayuso and Isaac Del Toro. At the front of the race, Nairo Quintana, rolling back the years, was in second place on the road, but it was Lorenzo Fortunato, the King of the Mountains, who went over the top of the Alpe San Pellegrino in first place and added another 40 points to his tally in the King of the Mountains competition. A group went clear over the top, not many riders remaining from the original breakaway, but a 5-rider group of Plapp, Bilbao, Poels, Quintana and Fortunato established itself. Everything was right in the balance though. The gap between them and the peloton was pretty insubstantial as they headed through the second sprint of the day with a diminishing advantage, and then Lorenzo Fortunato took a further 18 points over the Category 2 Toano climb, the penultimate categorised climb of the day. Nairo Quintana took the bonus seconds and the prize money at the Red Bull Sprint, as the 5 riders were still off the front by only about a minute, but then a number of teams, including EF and Lidl Trek, started riding hard to the foot of the final climb of Bismantova.
Carapaz, though, opens up a little bit of a gap, and Rafa Majka, as he's done so, Olympic champion. Carapaz at his best.
As they looked behind to see who would ride to bring him back, it was Isaac Del Toro briefly who went off in pursuit before thinking better of it and then sitting on the wheels of his teammates. Carapaz then soloing over the top of the final categorised climb with 5 kilometres of the race remaining with a 30-second advantage.
He's going to take 10 bonus seconds and he is back in this race. Richard Carapaz. Reckon with another name. He is not done yet. Much more to come from Carapaz. That was a sensational victory. As we look down the road, see the size of the gap and watch the sprint for second place. And Del Toro cruises over the line to take 6 seconds ahead of Giulio Ciccone and Tom Pidcock.
A masterful performance from the Ecuadorian champion, the former Olympic road race champion, a GC racer with a one-day racer's heart. Richard Carapaz back to close to his best and the promise of things to come in the general classification when we get to the altitude of the third week. Class performance from Richard Carapaz, and EF Education EasyPost opened their account at the Giro. The champagne corks popping for the American team for the first time, and Carapaz announcing himself at this Giro ahead of Del Toro in second and Giulio Ciccone in third. Isaac Del Toro's second place though in his 6-second time bonus hands him an extended advantage over his teammate, Juan Ayuso, while Carapaz catapults himself up to 6th place. Not much change in the Maglia Ciclamino, although Alessandro Tonelli picked up a couple of points and closed the gap, but it's still huge. And the same is true of the King of the Mountains competition, Lorenzo Fortunato picking up 58 further points to extend his lead to 102 over Juan Ayuso, and Del Toro continues in the white jersey with the same advantage over Ayuso and Tiberi as on GC.